Tonight, Australia's Prime Minister now says the mass shooting at Bondi Beach was motivated by ISIS.
We feel absolutely shattered.
Shock and grief as the Jewish community pulls together in mourning. And the story behind this remarkable act of bravery that saved lives.
He's a hero, 100%.
Plus, what's being done to protect Jews in Canada? Celebrated Hollywood director Rob Reiner and his wife killed in their LA home. Their son arrested.
It's just a sad, shocking day.
His remarkable legacy, including a catalog of beloved films. Food prices rise at the fastest rate in 2 years.
Berries, citrus, all of them are going up.
What's driving grocery costs up just in time for the holidays?
From CBC News, this is The National with Christine Birak.
Thanks for joining us. Adrian is away as devastating details emerge about the lives lost and shattered by the mass shooting at Bondi Beach. Australia's Prime Minister is offering new insight about the father-son gunman. He says the attack appears to have been motivated by Islamic State ideology. That shooting was carried out during a Hanukkah celebration. Mourners have been back at the site since daybreak, pausing to pay their respects and grieve. At least 15 people were killed, including a little girl named Matilda, just 10 years old. Another, a retired policeman who was working the event as a freelance photographer. And a woman from Slovakia, described as a beloved member of Sydney's Jewish community. In the aftermath, Australia's gun laws are already being examined, and there are calls for more to be done to combat anti-Semitism. Jennifer Yoon shows the collective mourning and the demands for answers.
At the site of a massacre targeting the Jewish community, grief, anger, and a show of strength. Remembering the at least 15 people killed Sunday night while celebrating Hanukkah. More than 40 people were injured. 2 gunmen opened fire on Australia's popular Bondi Beach, packed with people marking the first day of the Jewish holiday.
We're a heartbroken community. We feel absolutely shattered.
And we just feel like we live in a different time now, like not an Australia that we grew up in.
We're learning more about those who were killed. An 87-year-old Holocaust survivor who reportedly died shielding his wife. Rabbi Eli Schlanger, who helped organize the celebration. A French national who was a promising soccer player. And the youngest victim, 10-year-old Matilda, being remembered as a happy, bright girl. Her family left despondent.
She always cuddle me, kiss me, just like full of life. What now it's taking from us, I just don't know how we live now.
Among those recovering in hospital, the man who disarmed one of the gunmen with nothing but his bare hands, and one of the 2 alleged shooters, a 24-year-old seriously injured.
Based on his medical condition, it is likely that that person may face criminal charges.
The other alleged gunman, the suspect's father, died in a shootout with police. The Prime Minister says they appear to have been motivated by Islamic State ideology.
I also confirm that the vehicle, which is registered to the younger male, contained IEDs, but I also confirm that it contained 2 homemade ISIS flags.
But as police search for evidence, authorities are also facing questions, including from some in the Jewish community who say they've been warning about anti-Semitism on the rise.
And it feels almost like we were unheard.
Over the past 2 years, multiple synagogues have been set on fire. Homes and businesses owned by Jewish people graffitied. Authorities now trying to reassure those left shaken.
My message to Jewish Australians is that we stand with you as a nation.
But the anger in the Jewish community is palpable. One MP described it as white-hot rage, and you could see that at a vigil in Bondi Beach last night when a federal MP was heckled by people who said the government just did not do enough.
Jen, Australia already has some of the strictest gun laws in the world, and we're hearing there's talk of change?
Yes, one of the gunmen in this case, the father, had a gun license. He held 6 firearms, Christine. So there is conversations that the government wants to limit the number of guns someone can own. They want to perhaps restrict licenses only to Australian citizens, and they're speeding up plans for a national gun registry as well.
All right, Jen, thanks for this.
You're welcome.
In all that grief and pain, there is something to hold on to. The courage of one man who helped stop the killing. Ashley Fraser introduces us to the bystander now being called a hero.
In the chaos, an act of incredible bravery. This bystander, al-Ahmed, tackles one of the Bondi Beach shooters, likely preventing Australia's worst mass shooting in decades from becoming even more tragic. He is now in hospital recovering from his injuries, while his country and the world hails him as a hero. This video, verified by CBC News and seen around the globe, shows al-Ahmed crouched behind a parked car. You see him charge at the shooter, who's targeting a crowd celebrating Hanukkah. He wrestles away his rifle, then turns it on him. Police then open fire on the shooter and the second one nearby. His father says al-Ahmed was just getting coffee when he noticed the shooter hiding. Before jumping into action, he reportedly told his cousin, "I'm going to die," and to tell his family he tried to save lives.
He's a hero. 100% he's a hero.
His father says that he used to serve in the Syrian security forces before moving to Australia in 2006, where he's now a citizen. He's a shop owner and the father of 2 daughters. In an interview with the Sydney Morning Herald, his immigration lawyer says he's not well at all and that he sustained about 5 bullet wounds in his left arm. But he says he doesn't regret what he did and that he'd do it again. Messages are pouring out thanking him for his bravery.
These 2 terrorists, they do not represent Australia. Mr. Ahmed, who tackled one of the terrorists, he represents Australia far more, vastly more, than anyone that is filled with hatred.
A GoFundMe has been set up to help al-Ahmed's recovery and has already raised a remarkable amount of money.
I just can't believe he had the courage to run straight in and put his body on the line for so many people.
A selfless act that saved so many. Ashley Fraser, CBC News, Toronto.
The shooting in Australia is prompting extra security at Hanukkah events across Canada. An intelligence report obtained by CBC News says there is no specific threat of a similar attack here. But as Lisa Shing explains, the Jewish community remains a possible target.
On the second day of Hanukkah celebrations, the Jewish community in Canada is mourning.
It's really heavy. It feels really surreal, and you never think that something like this could happen to you.
Naomi Plax is related to Rabbi Eli Schlanger, among those killed in the mass shooting at Australia's Bondi Beach. He left behind a wife and 5 children.
He was just a selfless, amazing individual who was so family-oriented.
Australian authorities are calling it anti-Semitic terrorism, and it's raising fears something similar could happen here. A report from Canada's Security and Intelligence Community, obtained by CBC News, says a violent extremist attack, including one targeting the Jewish community, remains a realistic possibility, though there's no known imminent credible threat. Police increasing their presence at Jewish schools, synagogues, and events across the country.
We'll be driving by those places and just to make sure that the community knows we're out there and keeping them safe.
Many already on edge, warning of a rise in anti-Semitism since the October 7th Hamas attacks and Israel's ensuing war in Gaza. According to Stats Canada, hate crimes against Jewish people almost doubled in 2023 compared with the previous year, and only decreasing slightly in 2024. Some local rabbis fearing for their safety.
It's very worrisome. I'm not one to be scared, but, there's a reason why my mom, says, "What are you doing? What are you exposing yourself?"
Amid the growing public safety concerns, some say the answer lies in prevention.
Counterterrorism is not just disrupting plots, but really trying to stage intervention with individuals who are engaged or maybe engaging in extremist violence.
despite fears, the Jewish community is still gathering to celebrate, showing light triumphs over darkness. Lisa Shing, CBC News, Toronto.
4 people have been arrested for allegedly planning coordinated bombings targeting companies across Southern California on New Year's Eve. Authorities say they're part of an extremist group.
Is an anti-capitalist, anti-government movement that calls for their associates to rise up and fight back against capitalism.
Officials have released video they say shows the accused testing out explosives in the California desert. They were also allegedly planning to target U.S. immigration agents and their vehicles. Police say they have a new lead in the shooting at Brown University based on images of a new suspect.
We're asking the public for assistance to be able to identify this individual.
This video was taken on Saturday afternoon, hours before the shooting that killed 2 students and wounded 9 others. The FBI says the person is about 5'8" with a stocky build. He's seen in dark clothing with a face mask and beanie. A previous person of interest was cleared and released last night. The son of revered film director Rob Reiner is in custody tonight, accused of stabbing and killing both his parents in their Hollywood home. Alexander Silberman shows us why movie fans are mourning a deep loss and reeling from terrible details.
The California home of legendary film director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle, now a crime scene. The couple found dead, reportedly stabbed in an apparent homicide. Their 32-year-old son in custody.
Nick Reiner, a suspect in this case, he was subsequently booked for murder.
His father's death at 78 and the shocking circumstances, leaving many in the industry stunned.
Rob was like a father to me.
You guys want to go see a dead body?
Jerry O'Connell was just 11 when he filmed Stand By Me, directed by Reiner, and he credits the filmmaker with launching his career.
Everything I have is because of Rob Reiner. Everything I have. Everything I have. It's just a sad, shocking day.
Hollywood now paying tribute to the acclaimed actor, director, and producer.
He was, as they say in Hollywood, a mensch, a trustworthy and friendly and stable and reliable person that it was fun to be with.
The son of Carl Reiner, a highly successful actor and director.
That's all you care about, Archie.
Rob Reiner's own career took off with his role on the groundbreaking sitcom All in the Family. But he made his mark directing hit films like This Is Spinal Tap, The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, and A Few Good Men.
You can't handle the truth.
So many of the sayings that have really just infused our language.
Inconceivable.
He had one of the kind of greatest unparalleled runs as a Hollywood filmmaker.
Reiner was also an outspoken political activist, involved in efforts to legalize same-sex marriage in California, and a vocal critic of the Trump administration. The U.S. president reacted to his death by lashing out on social media.
Just want my kids to be happy and my family to be happy, that's all.
Reiner's wife, Michelle, 68, was an actress, photographer, and producer. Their son, Nick, struggled with addiction. Rob Reiner worked with him on the movie Being Charlie, that was loosely based on Nick's life. That son now held without bail. Any motive unclear, as Rob Reiner's many fans mourn his loss. Alexander Silberman, CBC News, Montreal.
U.S. President Donald Trump is suing the BBC for defamation, seeking $5 billion in damages.
I'm suing the BBC for putting words in my mouth, literally. They put words in my mouth. They had me saying things that I never said.
Trump alleges the BBC edited a speech which made it seem like he was directing supporters to storm the Capitol on January 6th. The BBC has admitted it was an error of judgment and apologized to Trump. Health officials in Ontario say 3 children have died from flu-related complications, all within the past couple of weeks. And as Lauren Pelly explains, these deaths come as the province deals with a surge in flu cases.
Flu keeps filling children's hospitals, and now officials say 3 children in the Ottawa area have died.
It is unusual to see this number of deaths over such a short period of time.
Ottawa's top doctor says the children were between the ages of 5 and 9 years old, but did not say if they were vaccinated or had any other health concerns. CHEO, the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario, also says it's facing a surge of patients. More than 300 tests came back positive for influenza in the first 10 days of December, a striking spike compared to the same period last year when there were just 11. Ontario data also shows more than half of flu tests across the province are now coming back positive among kids and teens.
That's sky high. That means the amount of influenza circulating among school-age kids is really tremendous right now.
It's devastating every time that we hear stories like this, because nobody wants anyone to go through this.
Jill Promoli lost her 2-year-old son Jude to influenza in 2016. He was both healthy and vaccinated, but she says you never know for sure who's at risk.
I don't want other people to be in our shoes.
Advocates and doctors are calling on Canadians to get the flu shot, saying there's still time to protect loved ones at many holiday gatherings.
If you got your vaccine today, you'd have a pretty good chance of having some protection 10 days out.
Experts say this year's flu surge is driven by H3N2, a strain linked to more hospital admissions, which also features mutations making it a mismatch for the latest vaccine. This pediatrician says the flu shot is never perfect, but
it's better than nothing.
And in a bad flu season like this, every bit of protection counts. Lauren Pelly, CBC News, Toronto.
Parts of Atlantic Canada are getting lashed by a wicked winter storm. Heavy snowfall and strong winds canceling school for some students and creating tricky road conditions. Environment Canada says more snow and hurricane-force winds are heading for parts of Newfoundland and could result in power outages and flooding along the coast. Parts of BC's Lower Mainland are under flood warnings again. Heavy downpours drenched the region today, including the already hard-hit Fraser Valley. That's where Yasmin Renea is tonight.
This is quite high for what we're used to.
Living across the Chilliwack River in BC's Fraser Valley, David McBride is closely watching the water.
It could come up. It's living in the valley, it always could come up, right? Like that's part of living here.
Environment Canada issued more flood warnings Monday, with as much as 80 millimeters of rain in the forecast.
This remains a dynamic and evolving situation, and the risks are real.
The region is already reeling from an atmospheric river last week that shut down major highways.
And I have, I think about 16 trucks booked for tomorrow, and they're all delayed too.
This trucking company now playing catch-up, with some drivers having to make 2 or 3 trips a day to the Port of Vancouver.
It's affecting everybody, not only the trucking, the people who need these pipes, the people who need the lumber.
The storm also put hundreds of people under evacuation orders and alerts.
Yeah, it's been a challenging few days of constantly pivoting and sleeplessness and worry and stress.
With many of the evacuation orders now lifted, this cafe is back open after being forced to shut down for days.
So hopefully we'll stay busy within the next few days and we'll be able to make that up.
But officials warn the situation can quickly change and the risk has expanded beyond the Fraser Valley. A flood warning now in place for the North Shore Mountains overlooking Vancouver as warm temperatures melt snow at higher elevations.
The ground is saturated in many areas. The rivers are full. Additional rainfall is going to increase the potential for more flooding and landslides.
Monday's storm has downed trees and power lines, leaving thousands on the North Shore and in the Fraser Valley without power. While power is coming back on for many, officials are encouraging residents to have a household emergency kit that includes essentials like food, water, and a flashlight in case of another outage.
And Yasmin, the rain has eased for now, but we're hearing more is on the way?
That's right. Parts of the Lower Mainland could see showers for the rest of the week. And while it's expected to be less than the rainfall that the region has already experienced, it certainly won't help floodwaters recede.
Thanks, Yasmin. Yasmin Renea in Abbotsford, BC tonight. Jamaica is still reeling nearly 2 months after being hit by one of the strongest hurricanes it's ever seen.
You've had no power since the storm?
No.
No light, no power, nothing.
David Common takes us to Montego Bay, where the damage is still immense. Next. The cost of groceries keeps soaring just in time for the holidays.
Berries, citrus, orange, lemons, limes, cabbage, all of them are going up.
And Mariah Carey is going to Milan. The plan for the pop star at the Olympics. We're back in 2. Grocery inflation has now reached its highest rate in nearly 2 years. Nisha Patel shows us what's behind the spike and how some Canadians are cutting back their holiday menus.
Overall inflation is holding steady, but grocery prices are taking a bite out of budgets, rising 4.7%, the fastest pace in nearly 2 years.
Berries, citrus, orange, lemons, limes, cabbage, all of them are going up.
At Munther's Aid's independent grocery store in Winnipeg, he says he tries hard to get the best prices for his customers.
We're noticing that people are really shopping around when it comes to meat and produce.
Smaller cattle herds pushed the cost of beef up nearly 18% in November compared to the year before. American tariffs and extreme weather have made coffee nearly 28% more expensive.
You have yield issues in coffee producing regions. We can't snap our fingers and just say, well, let's just double production. And so those price increases have been persistent.
Experts say a weaker Canadian dollar can also make grocery imports more expensive.
I think what we'll see going forward is food prices will continue to be much more variable than they have in the past 20 or 30 years.
Let's do a $40 grocery haul in Canada.
Diana Skakovac has made it her mission to save money at the store using coupons and price matching.
Open up the flyer, see what's on sale, and kind of try and shop around that.
With the holidays around the corner, she's stretching her dollars even further.
We're going to probably trade the turkey in for a chicken because I find that a little easier to make anyways. And you know, as compared to some of the roasts around nowadays, it's more cost effective.
One area Canadians are getting a little relief is at the pump. Gas prices are about 8% lower than a year ago. That's been the case for a few months now because of the removal of the consumer carbon tax. Nisha Patel, CBC News, Toronto.
They may be hosting the Olympics, but Italy's national women's hockey team is here in Canada ahead of the games.
We are very confident that we're going to shock the hockey world.
Why they're training on the ice in Montreal next. From This Is Spinal Tap.
Is it any louder? Well, it's one louder, isn't it?
To The Princess Bride.
Hold it, hold it. Is this a kissing book?
Eli Glasner on Rob Reiner's defining movie moments. And David Common shows us the damage in Jamaica, more than a month after a monster hurricane tore across the island.
That is one of the worst experiences I ever had.
The National breaks down the story shaping our world next. Mariah Carey, best known for this holiday hit, will be a featured performer when the Milano Cortina Winter Olympics open February 6th. In today's announcement, organizers said Mariah Carey fully represents the emotional atmosphere that accompanies the run-up to the Games. With those games fast approaching, Italy's women's hockey team was looking for some expert guidance that's hard to find in their country. Sarah Levitt shows us where they found it.
We're just 2 months away from the Winter Olympics in Milan, and I'm here at the Verdun Auditorium to see the national women's hockey team play. Not Canada.
Yes, I'm talking about the Italian women's national hockey team here in Montreal for a month-long intensive training camp. As the host country, the Italian players wanted to be sure they'd be ready to take on powerhouses like Canada and the United States.
Training in such an environment in Canada, you know, the motherland of hockey. So it's been great.
But why specifically Montreal? The team's general manager is none other than Hockey Hall of Famer Danielle Sauvageau, the woman behind the bench for Canada's first hockey gold in 50 years at the Salt Lake City Olympics in 2002. But that's not the only Quebec connection.
The way it's going to work.
Coaching the team is Éric Bouchard, assistant coach of the Shawinigan Cataract in the Quebec Maritimes Junior Hockey League.
Having a chance to work with elite hockey players like that, having a chance to build something special with the team, really resonated with me.
The last time the Italian women's team played in the Olympics was in 2006, again as hosts in Torino. For these players, the chance to play at home is exciting, but also nerve-wracking.
No one expects us to reach the levels that the Olympics have, but we are very confident that we're gonna shock the hockey world.
The Italians have a veteran amongst them. Laura Fortino was on the Canadian Olympic team that won gold in Sochi and silver in Pyeongchang. As an Italian-Canadian dual citizen, she can now play for Italy.
Experiencing this journey is very special to me. You know, this is representing my family and my roots.
These women are giving it all they've got and say they can't wait to hear Forza Italia yelled proudly from the stands in Milan. Sarah Levitt, CBC News, Montreal.
Now it's time to dig deeper into the stories shaping our world.
With or without protesters, this country would still have the same problems.
From comedic actor to acclaimed director, Rob Reiner helped craft so many cultural touchstones.
$26,000 for one dinner!
Dad, we're not poor anymore.
Remembering his Hollywood influence, but first.
The roof went and then the ceiling caved in.
Jamaica's slow rebuild after a Category 5 hurricane killed dozens and caused billions in destruction.
That is one of the worst experiences I never have, man.
A Canadian charity is among those helping the sick and injured after the strongest storm to ever hit the Caribbean island. That's the starting point for David Common's story about the determination of people to move on amid scattered belongings and shattered lives.
This is the hospital.
Jamaica had never seen a hurricane like this.
Yep.
So this is where?
This is it, right here. Right here. See, the roof is gone. Look at these posts there, everything.
A Category 5 storm which pummeled the island nation, shearing the roof off Cornwall Regional Hospital's surgical ward
the magnitude
that Dr. Delroy Frey oversees.
Along here and upstairs were patients. We had to move them quickly into those areas that were concrete roofs.
If your nurses had not got people out, what would have happened?
Casualty would have been high. I wouldn't believe that a roof like this could have been blown off.
Dr. Frey tells us these videos show what the hospital looked like during the storm. 6 weeks later, the ward has a new roof.
Right along here.
Patients will soon be returning. The Montego Bay Hospital certainly needs the space.
And as you can see from what we see in the accident and emergency area, it's cramped. We are not happy with the cramped nature, but under the circumstances, it's the best that we can do to give our patients the best care. Morning, morning. Morning.
The emergency department, forced to move to a less damaged building, is crowded with injuries and illness.
The roof was damaged. We had to fix back this very quickly.
In many cases, patients who were unable to reach medical care until now.
A lot of our patients were marooned in some areas of this parish. They had injuries, especially diabetic foot injuries, and they were not able to present early enough.
Because the roads were blocked or surrounded by water.
They just couldn't get into hospital.
Yeah. To relieve some of the pressure on the packed ER, up to 30 patients a day are redirected to this tent outside. It's run by the registered charity Canadian Medical Assistance Teams.
Do you take any medications? This is Dr. Juliana.
Where nurses and doctors like Calgary's Juliana Deutscher are volunteering.
Just gonna take the tape off here.
This team takes on patients who can be treated faster, giving the Jamaican doctors and nurses crucial time to care for the more complex cases.
The majority of our work here includes a lot of broken bones, wound repair. Yeah, and you can feel me touching here and here. And can you put your thumb up like this? Yeah, push really hard. Yeah, nice. Okay. The department is still very busy. We're helping to offload about 30 to 40% of the patient volume per day. You might have lost your medications in the hurricane. Maybe you don't have a fridge to store your insulin.
Already, Miss Ronnie.
And so we're seeing worsenings of the chronic medical conditions.
We took you over to x-rays. Dr. Julianne's going to take a look at it and reassess you.
It's been really phenomenal to see and to hear stories every single day. Patients are sharing with us, colleagues are sharing with us about the ongoing challenges that they're facing, even a month post-hurricane, and how they're overcoming that.
You guys are doing a marvelous job.
Oh, thank you.
God
Thank
bless
you.
the Canadians.
The hurricane's effects will be long-lasting. Floodwaters still being swept from homes. Damage estimated between $9 and $10 billion. And in the mud and water left behind, a bacteria carried in the urine of animals. Leptospirosis then infects humans through even small cuts on their body. Without treatment, it can and has been deadly here. Dr. Frey says 12 have died, a reminder of the storm's long, lingering effects. It can be seen in every neighborhood here. Tarps where roofs were sheared off by winds exceeding 200 kilometers an hour. So you put the new decking, the new...
Yes, see the new decking here?
Yeah. We met up with Donovan Birch and his wife Jean in their home, where he thought he might die.
It was so terrible, man. You hear the roaring, woo, powerful. I never heard those sounds yet in all my life.
Oh my God, give him the...
So strong, the corrugated zinc roof panels started to lift away. If Donovan lost the roof, he realized his home would flood.
I hear like a piece of zinc shaking, so I go up the step there and I turn to my wife. She was downstairs there. A piece of zinc getting up, because anytime the wind gone, you're gonna take off everything. I said, no, don't go up there. The wind will blow you away. So I say, okay then, and I start to cry because I know that it's gonna go through and pick off and tear off the whole of the house. So that is one of the worst experiences I ever had, man.
With limited savings, the Birch family has re-roofed half their home. They've turned now to a private fundraiser online in the hopes of raising the cash to finish the job.
I have to get some help, so I don't see the money yet, but I'm trying to see what I can do by the next couple of weeks to cover it.
Getting the roof and the rooms repaired is pressing because this building is also their sole source of income.
This is our livelihood.
This is our livelihood.
Rent it out.
This is your job.
This is
That's
our job.
our
So
income.
when it's pulled off, some tenant was in it, and
Yeah.
they lose tablet, they lose phone, they
Yes.
lose passport, they lose everything.
Yeah.
So they got to go somewhere else.
The economic damage is measured by families and by the small nation. The rebuilding cost is half of everything the country produces in a year. Wherever we went in Jamaica, we were told of the people's resilience. You see it in neighbors helping neighbors, like this man up a ladder repairing power lines rather than wait weeks more for the overburdened electrical company. You've had no power since the storm.
No. No light, no power, nothing. We have to wash in with our hands and stuff like that. It's very hard.
All your clothes you're washing
Yeah.
by hand, yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait to get back some light.
Carmita Johnston hasn't had power since the hurricane tore the lines away. Do you mind if I ask you what he's doing?
He is shifting the wire, add a piece of wire to it and put it straight. So when the lightman come to connect it, it's in its right place. That's what he's doing.
She's been without power all this time and also without work. Like many Jamaicans, Carmita works in the tourism sector. She's a housekeeper in a hotel, but it's too damaged to yet reopen.
None of us have any jobs. Most of the hotels are out. Yeah, we just have to be doing cleaning up work. We have no tourist season. Most of the hotels are down. So it's really bad.
It's why Jamaican officials are encouraging tourists to return. It may be odd to see cruise ships and beachgoers relax when there's such destruction nearby. Carmita says the country needs those visitors.
We're depending on the tourist money to come in so we can get gratuity, so we can get paid. So tourism is our best income here, so it is bad.
Even God's house was not spared. The sun now shines directly into Hillview Baptist, where Pastor Dwayne Madden's congregation now meets in the building's basement.
So, this is your sanctuary.
This is my sanctuary, our sanctuary, God's sanctuary.
Yeah.
But without a roof. Yeah, the roof went and then the ceiling caved in.
In a country where the majority are Christian, church is a pillar of life. Its destruction, in some ways, an assault on community.
So everything that fell here, because you had the roof and everything else, where did it go?
Well, you're about to see. I kid you not, it landed here. We are pretty used to hurricanes, but we're not used to a Category 5 hurricane. So it's the spirit of resilience, Jamaican-wise, but then also the spirit of God that is within me because I'm a man of faith, I'm a pastor. It means that we're going to have to dig deep and be resilient in trying to bounce back and build back.
Rebuilding will cost more than $100,000. That spirit of resilience means this won't just be a repair of what was.
But we're not going to build it the same way. We're going to be decking it concrete. That way it's going to be hurricane-proof. Our God and our Father, we want to thank you for provisions.
No one we met spoke of defeat. They may step out of damaged homes and into muddy streets.
We are worshiping under a roof, even though it's not the original sanctuary roof.
But they come together to celebrate, to overcome, out of ruin, rebirth.
As you saw in David's story, many in Western Jamaica are still without power. Today, the local power company said 84% of customers are back on the grid, with priority given to critical sites and economic zones in the hardest hit areas. With a famous father, Rob Reiner grew up in the entertainment industry, then emerged to forge his own legacy.
Getting in the door is important, but having staying power and being able to sustain a career is very, very difficult.
The man who helped define his era with the moments he made next. From dramas to mockumentaries to rom-coms, Rob Reiner's films captivated audiences with stories that have stood the test of time.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
From behind the camera, he got serious and poked fun, exploring themes of honor, friendship, and love. Many people trying to make sense of the shocking news that Reiner and his wife were killed in their home may find themselves remembering and talking about those famous films. Eli Glasner looks back at some of his most memorable movie moments.
Rob Reiner's directing career really began with the 1984 mockumentary rock and roll spoof, This Is Spinal Tap. His first feature didn't have a screenplay or a conventional plot, just an idea from a TV sketch Reiner had made with Michael McKean and Christopher Guest goofing around as rockers.
You guys were schoolmates?
We're not university material.
What's that on your finger?
It's my gum.
And it was hysterical. They were in character, and we said, geez, it would be great to find a way to take these characters and do something more than just this little 3-minute bit.
And so Spinal Tap was born with Rob Reiner himself as Marty DeBurgi.
Tall, blonde geek with glasses.
Good drummer.
Great look, good drummer,
Good
yeah,
drummer.
fine
What
drummer.
happened to him?
He died. He died in a bizarre gardening accident some years back.
After 30 days of improv, the first cut was 7 hours, but they whittled it down, revealing classic moments of rock and roll lunacy.
If you can see, the numbers all go to 11.
Some of Spinal Tap's biggest fans were the musicians themselves.
Sting came in to meet me for a part, and He said he'd seen the movie like 50 times. He says, every time. He says, I look at it, he says, I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
One louder.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
1987 brought When Harry Met Sally, a movie about two friends who at first, is it possible to have negative chemistry?
Grape?
No, I don't like to eat between meals.
I'll roll down the window.
Working with a stellar script from Nora Ephron, Reiner was inspired by his own unlucky love life. He might have been unlucky in romance, but when it came to casting, he had rising star Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan in one of her first leading roles. The result, hilarious moments of synchronized screwball comedy.
What did you do?
No one I know would call at this hour.
So awful.
I need to talk.
What happened?
What's the matter?
Harry came over last
I
night.
went over to Sally's last night.
Because I was upset that Joe was getting married.
And one thing led to another.
And before I knew it, we were kissing.
To make a
and
long
then
story short, we did it.
They did it.
Now, if you're going to talk about Harry Met Sally, we got to talk about the big O moment, Meg Ryan's orgasm scene.
And most women at one time or another have done it, so you do the math.
Except for the first take, Ryan didn't quite meet the moment. So...
And so I said, look, Meg, let me show you. So now I sit down. I sit down, and I'm sitting opposite Billy. I'm pounding the table, pounding table. Yes, yes, I'm doing the whole thing. Yes, yes. And I realize I'm having an orgasm in front of my mother. My mother's sitting over there.
Oh, oh, God. Oh, yes, 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 yes.
And that's because the woman who delivers one of the funniest lines in the film...
I'll have what she's having.
...was Reiner's own mother. Oh, and one more bittersweet detail. Because of Reiner's own single life, Harry Met Sally was originally supposed to end sadly.
Then I meet the woman who I've now been married to for 36 years. And so I changed the ending. I changed the ending.
And if that doesn't sound like a Hollywood fairy tale, let's move to 1989's The Princess Bride.
Since the invention of love, there have been 7 truly great romances. Wesley and Buttercups was easily in the top 3.
Hold it, hold it. Is this a kissing book?
But this kissing book, which became a beloved classic, was for the longest time the movie that couldn't get made. Norman Jewison tried, Robert Redford had tried. So Reiner went to ask William Goldman, the guy who wrote Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
At the door, he greeted me. He said, "This is my baby. I want this on my tombstone. This is my favorite thing I've ever written in my life." And basically, well, what are you going to do with it?
The result, a film filled with so many indelible moments, from Mandy Patinkin, who had lost his own father as a young man, as Inigo Montoya.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
To the enduring love of Wesley and Buttercup.
Inconceivable.
And yet Reiner conceived of that and so much more.
Tonight, many continue to reflect on Reiner's contribution to the film industry. Robin Wright, who starred in Reiner's Princess Bride, described him as an extraordinary director whose impact stayed with her throughout her career. When we come back, some newcomers to Canada lace up for a lesson with some of the world's best.
I was hopeful that maybe, 10, 15 years from now, maybe we've got a future Olympian on the ice with us on that day.
Their moment with Canada's decorated skaters next. You're looking at William Dongenou, the Canadian short track speed skater and Olympic hopeful, recently laced up to help some newcomers learn how to skate. In an effort to break down barriers, Dongenou and other top talent helped them hit the ice. And tonight, that's what makes our moment.
what a great experience for these kids to have their first on ice experience, getting tips and tricks from, some of the top skaters in the world. Skated with some national team athletes, some retired Olympians, some of our national team coaches. We had Will Donchenu, who's a two-time Crystal Globe winner, world champion. We had Galina Robage and Allison Charles, who are retired athletes, as well as, the legendary Charles Hamelang. I think they loved it. Some people take it up very quickly. Others, as everybody who gets on the ice for the first time, had a couple of bad spills, but always picked themselves up and had a big smile. I felt a sense of pride at being able to share one of the quintessential Canadian pastime with these new Canadians. And I was hopeful that maybe 10, 15 years from now, maybe we've got a future Olympian on the ice with us on that day.
Now that's a warm/cold welcome to Canada. We're told some of the kids already knew how to rollerblade, so they were whizzing across the ice in no time. Others a little more wobbly, but they all left with a free pair of skates and a helmet, and now they've got all winter to practice. From all of us here at The National, thank you for being with us. I'm Christine Birak. Take care.